Welcome to Gifted Underachievers, the podcast for mid-level creatives with delusional ambitions. In this segment, your Gifted Underachievers talk about whether art should have a trigger warning. Hope you enjoy.
Hey, Pat.
Yes, James?
Question.
Okay.
Can you be very triggering?
No doubt. Jesus. Depends who you're talking to, though.
No. Here's the real quick, right? So there's this whole thing putting trigger warnings on creative work,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Where do you stand on that? Are you going to put trigger warnings on your pieces if, where are we?
If somebody in a position of power over my creative work, say it's a publisher, says this needs a trigger warning, I'm not going to fight them on it. If I'm putting out my own work, no trigger warnings. No, I don't even want to see a trigger warning. I'll decide if I'm triggered. Fuck you. That's how I feel about trigger warnings. I need to experience the piece before I can be clear on whether, the mention of, say, I don't know, necrophilia or I don't know, pederasty or whatever, is going to trigger me. I need to read it. I need to be in there. So, or watch it or whatever. So I don't want a trigger warning. How about you? Am I being an asshole?
No, I completely agree. So the only trigger warning that I would say that I would agree to is when they say this has flashing lights. So if you're epileptic or something like that.
Yeah, like a medical trigger warning. Yes.
Yeah. So that's good. But no, I mean, art, generally speaking, is supposed to be triggering.
Good one.
It triggers hard emotions or whether it triggers good emotions.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be triggering. So if we're putting warnings of everything, we're not experiencing it. And I think I have all the empathy in the world for people who have been through tough stuff.
Yeah.
But to then sort of say, no, we have to have trigger warnings and we need to alter, people's voice and art and creative life and it just it gets into this whole, it's too much and it gets into the slippery slope where you're actually you're preventing people from using their creativity. And
okay.
You're impacting the experience. And so no, I agree with you, but at the same time, if St. Martin's wants to publish my novel and they say we need to put a little trigger warning in, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to bang my fist down and say I'm walking.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean,
I would say please don't. That's not something I would like to do, but
I think there's two different things happening. The trigger warning is one thing. The idea of censorship or of muting somebody's voice that they have stuff they want to write about is another thing. So with the trigger warning, you're just saying this is what it is. Don't read it if this upsets you, or don't watch it if this upsets you. You're not offering to change your voice. You're not offering to change what you're talking about or creating in any way. It's so if somebody comes up to you after they experience your stuff and go, well, there should have been a trigger warning. Do you have that conversation? Well, I'm sorry you've trauma in your life. Maybe you should just avoid all art. Like, everybody's got trauma. I sound like an asshole. I got to stop talking.
No. You're right. And it gets into, so do I want to be rude to somebody? Am I trying to be intentionally insensitive? And no, I'm trying to create something that has meaning.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to detract from that meaning. Does that then also mean that I'm being an asshole because somebody would have a tough time with it? I have all the respect and compassion for anybody who's been through anything difficult.
Yeah.
But at the same time, one of the things that sucks about abuse is that, for example, is that you can go through that abuse. Your abuser can come to you and say, I'm sorry, I apologize. It was horrible what I did, but you're still going to carry the impact of that abuse.
Yeah.
Right. It is still on you. And this is what's so horrible about it. Or one of the many things that's so horrible about it is it is still on you to be able to live your life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I can't control that,
True. Yeah. I think
right?
that's what I'm saying too. You're saying it much, much more compassionately and much better, but that's where I'm coming from too.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, you hit the raw. You go for the raw.
it's just how I express myself. It's not deliberate.
Yeah, very, very direct.
Yes,
But
right.
no,
Hard
I have
ass.
all the respect, but at the same time, that is why one of the reasons why anything that is traumatic that somebody could want a trigger warning for is because it then puts it on that person, on the victim,
Yeah.
to have to then heal. It is
Yeah.
up to them.
Yeah.
And it's not meanness that comes from. It's just one of the cruelties of that.
Well said.
All right. We'd like to hear what you all have to think.
Thank you. I think we would. I'm feeling a little guilty and a little weird right now, but anyway, let us know. We'd love to
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah. Or just, let Pat know she doesn't have to feel weird.
Too late. Thanks so much for listening to Gifted Underachievers, the podcast for mid-level creatives with delusional ambitions. We would love to hear how we're doing, so please leave a comment, join our chat page, or send us an email to giftedunderachievers@substack.com. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. Hope you have a great creative week.